Celebrating 30 years of phenomenal trend forecasting, here's Gerald Celente with today's trends in the news.
Hi, this is Gerald Celente, and here are some of today's trends in the news. You know, things aren't going so good over there in Israel for Netanyahu, who is another one of those, as I would put him, in the area of psychopaths, sociopaths. His approval rating is not so good. 60% of the people are dissatisfied with him, 60%. So he keeps talking up going to war with Iran. When things aren't looking good, that's what those kind of people do. And talking about those kind of people, the other kind of people are over here in Bahrain. Story that nobody really cares about. Bahrain is criticized for its torrent of tear gas use. Despite a pledge to stop abuses by its security forces, the ruling Sunni minority in the tiny Persian Gulf kingdom, all right? Tiny Sunni minority. That means a couple of people ruling a lot of people. That ain't one of them. In the Gulf kingdom of Bahrain. The kingdom. The kingdom. You know, God creates kings, you know. These aren't dictatorships. No. They're not autocracies. No. They're kingdoms. Kings is good, especially when the kings where you park in your Fifth Fleet. That's where the United States Fifth Fleet is. Is engaged in systematic and disproportionate use of tear gas on its restive Shia majority. Restive Shia. The natives is restless, man. They don't want to be ruled by that tiny minority. But don't say anything bad about them, because the king is on the side of the U.S. And, you know, it's God save the Queen and God bless America, so they can't be wrong, none of them. The group of Physicians for Human Rights, which has been highly critical of Bahraini monarchy behavior since the Shia protests inspired by the Arab Spring uprising 18 months ago, called the policy on tear gas use unprecedented in the world, even among dictatorships, where tear gas is a staple tool for crowd control. Not even among dictatorships. They are a dictatorship. Hey, Celente, don't call the king a dictator. It's not nice. The report, based on dozens of interviews of victims of Bahrain, following evidence gathered there by the group's investigators, said Shia's populace suffers abnormally prolonged exposure to tear gas toxic compound and has already led to alarming increases in miscarriages, respiratory ailments, and other maladies. The report appeared likely to cause some awkwardness. The Obama administration. Awkwardness. Oh, what could we say? Oh, we can't say anything bad. Let's be awkward. It's hypocrisy. We acknowledge the legitimacy of the protesters. However, we're in an awkward position because we're using their property to house our Fifth Fleet, which is going to be in control of the entire Persian Gulf. It's hypocrisy. More hypocrisy. Obama gets personal over Romney's fairy dust tax cuts. President Obama warned Thursday that Mitt Romney's fairy dust tax cuts would swell his millionaire Republicans' foes' personal wealth while sticking the middle class with the bill. Remember, Obama stuck the middle class with the bill for Obamacare. It's a tax. Just to get that straight, that's what the Supreme Court said, and that's what the Obama administration argued in their briefs to the courts. In a punchy new personal attack ad running in battleground states, the Obama camp said Romney would hike taxes on families with children by $2,000 to pay for his $5 trillion tax plan that mostly benefits the wealthy. You work hard, stretch every penny, the ad says, showing a picture of a man stretching a penny. No. Of a man working at a desk and a woman comparing cans of tuna at a supermarket. But chances are you pay a higher tax rate than him. Shows a smiling Romney, a venture capitalist, flashed on screen. Mitt Romney made $20 million in 2010, but paid only 14% in taxes, probably less than you. The ad said, branding the former venture capitalist as he pays less, you pays more. Obama based his assaults on a survey released by the Brookings Institution that said plans like Romney's to lower rates and maintain tax breaks would spell large tax cuts to high-income households and increases on tax burdens for the middle class. And then, of course, the Romney camp said that Obama's done nothing to improve the economy. I'm reading this because that's all it's about. Neither of them have anything important to say. Yeah, Romney, you know, by the way, I want to see the Eisenhower era tax rates for the multi-millionaires. Yeah, people are making $20 million a year, 90% tax, man. I'm all for it. These hedge fund guys, jack it up. $250,000 is not rich in this country. Even $1 million, you're not rich. You're doing okay. So yeah, let's tax the filthy rich. The people making $20 million. Yeah, tax the hell out of them. I'm all for it. Go back to Eisenhower days, that's all I'm saying. So now on the economy, on the economic news, because that Dow is going up, and why? New numbers. Economy adds 163,000 jobs. U.S. payrolls increased by a seasonally adjusted 163,000 jobs last month, but the unemployment rate ticked up 0.1% to 8.3%. The economists expected about 95,000 jobs. Personal spending stalled. Factory orders fell. The Labor Department said private companies accounted for all the job growth in July, adding 172,000 during the month. Meanwhile, the government shed 9,000 positions, and the federal workforce shrank by 2,000 jobs. Big deal. We should be cutting the hell out of these government jobs. A lot of them are a waste of money. In the private sector, professional and business services added 49,000 jobs, 25,000 jobs for manufacturing. Healthcare added 12,000 jobs. 25,000 jobs, by the way, are in the so-called hospitality sector. But let's look at this. When you look behind the numbers, the job numbers aren't that great. Here's why. 195,000 fewer Americans had jobs in July. 150,000 dropped out of the labor force. There were 195,000 fewer people employed in the U.S. in July than in June, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. 150,000 people simply dropped out of the labor force and did not seek a job. A Reuters poll shows that 36% of the registered voters believe Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney has a better plan for the economy compared with 31% who have faith in Obama's policies. So what it adds up to, nobody has faith in either of them. That's what the reality is. And why should anybody? So whether it's the USA or Spain or any place else, it's all a hoax, because my favorite news story of the day is watching the King of Spain. You remember the King of Spain, right? Yeah, that was the elephant hunter. Remember the elephant hunter? And while Spain's going down the crapper, he's out there killing elephants, wild elephants. The mad psycho man killing innocent elephants to get his rocks off. And then he broke his hip or his leg or something. Well, check it out, man. El King's out there dressed up in his uniform. Look at this 2-bit uniform. It's all a freak show, everybody. Here is the proof. Look at the way the Clown King dresses, like the commander-in-chief. Hey, I'm the king. I'm the king. I know how to run battles. I know how to marshal the troops. I'm the king. Look at the way this 2-bit freak is dressed up. With a little hat on there, ready to go to war, huh? Oh, I love them, man. Look at all them medals. Hey, those medals actually proved to be a detriment to the king. And look at the flunkies saluting. First they salute, and then they bow. And then you know what they do later? They bend over. That's right. They all bend over. They bend over for the senators. They bend over for the congressmen. It's a country of bend-overs and suck-ups. The people have no pride. This is proof. Look at the king. After he salutes, they salute and bow. Poof! There he goes. Whoa! One down king. And look how they all run around him. The fat little pig. These are the morons that are ruining your life, whether it's in Spain or in Maine, whether in New York or California, whether in Mexico or Canada. You got a 2-bit freak show going on, and they're ruining your life. Remember Mark Twain? If voting made a difference, they wouldn't let us do it. If you vote for Romney or Obama, you get what you deserve. This is Gerald Celente. Have a nice weekend. That's some of today's trends in the news.